If you think you're lazy, this might be the most important video you watch this year. Because what if I told you you're not actually lazy? What if the real problem is something happening inside your brain that you didn't even sign up for? And once you see it, you can't unsee it. You sit down to work. You open your laptop. Maybe you even have a plan. And then somehow you're on your phone. Just for a second, right? One notification, one video, one scroll. And suddenly, it's been 45 minutes. Now you feel guilty, frustrated, maybe even a little ashamed. So you tell yourself, I need more discipline. But tomorrow, same thing happens, over and over again. And here's the uncomfortable question. What if it's not a discipline problem at all? What if something else is running the show? Stay with me, because the answer is going to change how you see yourself. Let's flip the script. You're not lazy. Your brain is addicted. Yeah, addicted. Not in a dramatic, you need rehab way, but in a quiet, everyday, completely normalized way. And that changes everything. Because laziness sounds like a personality flaw, something permanent, something that's your fault. But addiction? That's a pattern, a system, something that can be rewired. And here's where it gets interesting. Your brain isn't broken. It's actually doing exactly what it's designed to do. It's just been hijacked. Let's talk about what's really going on. There's a chemical in your brain called dopamine. You've probably heard of it. People call it the feel-good chemical. But that's not quite right. Dopamine isn't about pleasure. It's about anticipation. It's about motivation. It's what drives you to take action. Here's the simplest way to understand it. Hey, this might be rewarding. Do it again. Now imagine what happens when your brain gets flooded with instant rewards. Scrolling, likes, messages, short videos. Every swipe, something new, something unpredictable, something potentially exciting. And your brain loves that, because unpredictability, that's like rocket fuel for dopamine. So now, your brain starts learning something. Hey, this thing in your hand, this is the easiest way to feel good. And suddenly, working on your goals feels slow, feels boring, feels hard. Not because it actually is, but because your brain has something better to compare it to. And here's the part nobody tells you. Your brain isn't choosing what's important. It's choosing what's stimulating. Think about that. Ever notice how you can watch videos for hours, but 10 minutes of focused work feels painful? That's not laziness. That's conditioning. Your brain has been trained to expect high stimulation all the time. So when it doesn't get it, it resists. It distracts you. It pushes you back to what feels easier. And the scary part? This is happening to millions of people, right now, including you. But let's take it deeper, because this doesn't just waste your time, it changes how you see yourself. Every time you procrastinate, every time you say, I'll do it later, every time you break a promise to yourself, you lose a little bit of trust, a little bit of confidence. And over time, that adds up. You start believing, maybe I'm just not that productive. Maybe I'm just not disciplined. Maybe I'm the kind of person who never follows through. And that belief becomes your identity. Now, it's not just about scrolling, it's about who you think you are. And here's the trap. The more you believe you're lazy, the less you try. The less you try, the more you fall back into easy dopamine. And the cycle keeps going. So let me ask you something. How many hours have you lost like this? How many ideas never started? How many goals still sitting in your head? And how long are you willing to stay in this loop? Because here's the truth most people avoid. This doesn't fix itself. But this is the turning point. Because once you understand what's happening, you can actually change it. The good news? If your brain learned this, it can unlearn it. You don't need superhuman discipline. You don't need to completely quit everything you enjoy. You just need to reset the system, and I'm going to show you exactly how. But here's the key. These aren't complicated hacks. They're simple, almost too simple, which is why most people ignore them. Don't be that person. Step 1. Reduce the noise. Not eliminate it, reduce it. Right now, your brain is overstimulated. Constant inputs, constant notifications, constant novelty. So when you try to focus, it feels like withdrawal. That's why it's so uncomfortable. So here's what you do. Create friction. Turn off non-essential notifications. Move distracting apps off your home screen. Log out of them if you have to. Why does this work? Because you're not relying on willpower. You're changing the environment. And environment always wins. Try this. Next time you feel the urge to check your phone, notice how automatic it is. Now imagine if it wasn't right there. That tiny pause, that's where your control comes back. Step 2. Make boring things easier to start. Not easier to finish, just easier to start. Because starting is where most people fail. Your brain sees a big task, and it resists. So you shrink it. Instead of, I'm going to work for 2 hours, say, I'm going to do 5 minutes. That's it. 5 minutes. Sounds almost pointless, right? Good. That's the point. Because your brain won't fight something that small. And once you start, momentum kicks in. You don't need motivation. You need motion. And motion creates motivation. Every time. Step 3. Delay your dopamine. Not deny it, delay it. This is huge. Right now, you reward yourself first and work later. Scroll first, watch first, relax first, then try to be productive. But your brain already got the reward, so why would it work? Flip it. Do the work first, then reward yourself, even if it's small. Why does this matter? Because you're retraining your brain. You're teaching it, effort leads to reward, not the other way around. And over time, that changes everything. Step 4. Rebuild your attention span. Because right now, it's probably fragmented. Short bursts, constant switching, no depth. So here's what you do. Train focus like a muscle. Start with 10 minutes. No distractions, just one task. Then stop. Take a break. Do it again later. Gradually increase. 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. This isn't about grinding. It's about rebuilding capacity. And the crazy part? After a while, focus starts to feel good again. Not forced, not painful, natural, but only if you train it. Step 5. Change how you talk to yourself. Because this part, it's subtle, but powerful. Stop saying, I'm lazy. Seriously, that label is killing your progress. Instead say, my brain is overstimulated. My habits need adjusting. Why does this matter? Because identity drives behavior. If you believe you're lazy, you'll act like it. But if you see it as a fixable pattern, you'll start looking for solutions. And that shift changes everything. Now imagine this for a second. You wake up, and instead of reaching for your phone, you actually feel in control. You sit down to work, and starting doesn't feel like a battle. You don't need constant breaks. You don't need endless motivation. You just do the thing. And at the end of the day, you feel proud. Not because you were perfect, but because you followed through. That version of you, It's not some fantasy. It's just a different system, a different set of habits, a different relationship with dopamine. And here's the part I don't want you to forget. You were never the problem. Your brain adapted to the environment you gave it. That's it. So stop beating yourself up. Stop calling yourself lazy and start taking back control. One small change at a time. Because once you break this cycle, everything else gets easier. Your focus, your confidence, your discipline, your life. So the next time you catch yourself procrastinating, don't say, "I'm lazy." Pause and ask yourself, what is my brain actually craving right now? Then make a different choice, even a small one, because that's where it starts, and that's how you take your life back. If this made you see yourself differently, hold on to that, because this isn't just about productivity. It's about who you become when you're finally in control. And that version of you is a lot closer than you think.